Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Planet Coaster. Today I'm bringing you the first episode of Community Canyon, a collaboration between me, Coaster Connection, CoasterBot, Digital Dan and Silverette. Now I did say in a live stream a few days ago that I had footage of me actually building the coaster track. Unfortunately I'm an idiot and I deleted the footage whilst clearing out the drive to make way for today's footage. I know, blame me, it's my fault to be honest, but today we are going to be doing some scenery work. We're going to be doing the supports as well, so that'll be the first half of the video, the supports, and then for the second half we'll be doing some scenery. And I really want to make this coaster like sort of like Hagrid's, really, where it has its all like ride platforms, well not the platforms but the catwalks in between the launches and all the block sections and everything like that basically. So yeah, if you're not already subscribed to the channel then please do consider subscribing because it helps out the channel a lot more than you think. And with that being said, let's get into the first time lapse, which will be the support work for the coaster. So to start things off, like I said, we are doing the support work and I'm actually going to be doing these pre-made supports. I feel like this is a faster way to do support work in Planet Coaster. I started off with doing all the track connectors and put them in place before I started recording. And then with all those in place, I of course did these pre-built supports. And personally, you can do it how you want really. You can either make your own supports for each individual track section. I don't recommend that because it depends really. If you want to actually spend the time and make individual unique supports for each sectional track, then yeah, go ahead. But to save time, of course I've only got this park for like a week and a half, so you know I don't have time, so I just made these pre-made supports. Like I said, doing the actual dive loop support here. For this dive loop support I tried to make it a bit like Smiler's dive loop support. Of course it's got like two sticking out at the back and then one that goes all the way down. It carries on through the track, which is that bottom one you saw there. And here I'm actually like doing all the connectors, making these small little tiny connectors that attach onto the actual supports. And of course these are all TMTK items really, apart from the actual supports. The actual Gerstlauer connector and that little tube connector I just used, they are TMTK items. They're on a TMTK workshop. I'm pretty sure if you just search in Gerstlauer track connector, they'll come up really. They are fantastic connectors. Putting a bit of flanges on the supports here, you know, the same old. There's not really much to comment on supports, but as well as Smiler, I actually had a look at Carajo, which is a Gerstlauer Infinity in Tripstral. It's actually the second Infinity to open. Of course the first one was the Smiler. The Smiler was the prototype Infinity coaster. It had the over shoulder restraints, whereas Carajo was like the first proper perfected Infinity coaster. It has the lap bar restraints, it's got a shorter train, I believe it's only 2 rows Carajo has, whereas Smiler has 4 rows, but honestly Carajo does look better than the Smiler. I would love to go out and ride Carajo at some point in the future, but obviously not now. Here I'm actually doing the lift hill, and for this lift hill it is specifically based on Smiler's lift hill. Literally Smiler is basically the only vertical lift hill on an Infinity coaster that isn't like a massive sort of dive like Hang Time is. And all of this track section is based on Smiler. The drop from the vertical lift and then into the downward corkscrew, it's literally Smiler. You can look at that and say, hang on, that's Smiler, isn't it? So, you know, I just thought, why not? To be honest, I think this is how you should build coasters in Planet Coaster. Just take a few things from the real life coasters that are the same model as this. So if you're going to build a B&M Flawless coaster, maybe take some track sections from Rougarou, or what's other Flawless coasters? Is it Damon in not Busch Gardens, what am I talking about? Busch Gardens, Tivoli, Damon in Tivoli, or there's also, no, Dragon Khan's not Flawless. Anyway, that's my point basically. If you want to build a coaster in Planet Coaster, look at the real life counterparts, take track sections from those real life counterparts and then build that in Planet Coaster. It's just such a easier way to do it instead of trying to think about it really. That's my advice. So here I'm just doing the connectors for the chain return mechanism to attach to the actual support. Obviously this looks exactly like Smiler, doesn't it? It looks the exact same. Of course this bottom section isn't Smiler, this was just my own design sort of bottom section to actually make it look like the chain return mechanism is actually returning to the bottom of the lift hill, even though it's not even a lift hill, it is a launch, because you can't do vertical lift hills like this in Planet Coaster, and that really annoys me that you can't do that. But of course I'm going to shut up now, and you can enjoy some nice midway through the video cinematics of these supports. Right, so to start off the second part of the video, I'm going to be doing all the catwalks that go alongside the block sections and the launches. Now you might already notice that these are heavily based on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. God, that is one long name. Why did they make the name that long? Honestly, I could ramble on about that name for so long, but yeah, let's just talk about this. So of course in Planet Coaster you have the option to make either like a custom catwalk like I'm doing, or you have the in-game catwalks we can just turn on with a check mark. Of course the in-game catwalks, especially for the Infinity Coaster and the Eurofighter as well, they're just so rubbish. Honestly, they are appallingly bad. Don't use them. If you want realism in your parks, please, for the love of God, don't use the in-game catwalks on the Gerstlauer coasters. They're just so bad, and I honestly hate them. I also hate how you don't have the option to change which side the catwalk is on, or maybe have catwalks on both sides. It's so annoying, and they put it in the game. It's not like they can't put it in the game, because they did. They did it with the what's it called? Copperhead Strike. The Copperhead Strike coaster, you have that option of putting it on both sides or just one or the other side. You have those options. But you don't have those options in any other coaster. Why? Why would they implement it into the game on one coaster and then not put it out onto every other coaster? Honestly, it's an amazing feature. Why did they not put it on every other coaster? Oh my god, Frontier, you are idiots. Right, enough about that. So here I'm actually sort of starting the theming of the Fisherman Town, really, the fishing town. I felt like this sort of fence type would actually work quite well with all the chains and everything. I have to say, it kind of looks like a bit like Saw the Ride, doesn't it? With all those chains and everything, like the bottom of Saw's vertical lift. It looks like that a bit, doesn't it? So here I'm starting a cobblestone wall, using the spooky wall pieces once again to keep the piece count down. Of course, I would use the wooden pillars just like I did with Nemesis, and I just thought, I did it with Nemesis, it put the piece count way up, and I'm never ever doing it again. So I'm just using the basic standard spooky wall pieces. They work completely fine, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with them. Just doing that to make it look like you know, it's an actual raised up sort of flower bed. Basically, it's not an actual flower bed, but you get what I mean, really. Now I'm actually doing the wall that goes from that path to the actual sort of ocean. Well, I say the ocean, it is supposed to represent the ocean, really, this whole body of water, because this is a fishing town, and you know, this is where the dock area is going to be. Of course, in Coast Spots video you'll see like the main central area of Community Canyon Park, and then when you walk out of that area you'll be greeted by the body of water, or the lake, let's just call it a lake really, and then the actual area of the fishing town is on the other side of the lake, and I just kind of want it on that path, next to the lake. You can see the coaster, you can see the lighthouse that we're going to build later on, you can see all the area that you're going to be walking into in just a minute. And that's kind of what I wanted to do really. Of course, placing a few rocks down here to start the scenery work and all the foliage and everything. Of course, use trees, don't use the bushes. Don't use the in-game bushes. If you want good looking foliage and scenery, use trees and just put them in the ground. They look so much better, they honestly do. Doing a bit of footer work, and with this, it is the end of the video now. So thank you very much for watching today's Community Canyon video. Of course, we'll be doing these uploads daily. Well, hopefully they'll be daily. I mean, that is the plan. If you're not already subscribed, then please do consider subscribing because it helps out the channel a lot more than you think. And with that being said, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye.